For me, it's just been a mix of emotions, from crying to, being happy and, just spending the time with my family for real, and friends who's, been by my side this whole journey. It's really how I wanted to spend it, with the people who came up with me, and it's just been a great feeling.
You know about being a film junkie last night.
Yeah.
Between that and then coming to Ohio State, I think you admitted overweight and kind of getting that under control. Those are two signs of pretty strong work ethic. Where does that come from? Where were you able to kind of tap into that?
I'll say I was born with it. The work ethic has been me my whole life. I think in college I had a great support staff around me who helped elevate that, build it to what it is now. But I think I've always had it.
The team is on the cusp of, achieving the ultimate goal. You just did that with Ohio State. How do you think being a perennial title contender in college can help you at this next level?
I would say I've been through hard games. Of course, it's not the same as the NFL. I've played, the Texas, the Notre Dame, Oregon. I've played all those top teams who had these top players. So, I've won against these guys my whole college career, and I've had great games against all of them. So I think just bringing that with me and just keep working on my craft, and just helping the team out in any way I can is really my biggest thing I want to achieve for real.
Put that Michigan rivalry. Now you starting your career off in the state that was a big rival in college, man. How crazy is life just to end up in Michigan and start your career?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. I've learned hate this state for the last 4 years. So, but getting drafted here, I'm just happy. I can put all that behind me. Of course, I'm still team up north. I'm still not gonna say it, but I'm just happy I'm here. Great opportunity to go help a team and just go win. It's really all I'm looking for.
Could you articulate a little bit just what this dream means to you? When did you sort of first envision yourself as an NFL player? What does it mean to come true for this childhood?
Yeah. So growing up, I was always that best player on the team. So I always knew I had the ability, and I always had people around me who told me the same thing. So I just had to believe in it and go to work. And in college, like I said, I had a great support staff who put me in the right position to, go do those things. And I think they set me up good. And then, I went out there and, of course, did the work. But I think I've been, dreaming this my whole life, and I'm finally here. I just got to show up and do it.
You had that tough loss to Michigan, but the team was still able to go on and have success in the playoff. What did you learn from that, tough loss on a big stage, but still having team success?
I would say just the brotherhood, how much that takes account for a team. I'll just say we were so close that nothing could break us. Even losing to our rival at home, that's probably the worst feeling you can go through. But having those guys around you who, have the same mindset of we're just gonna get better. We're not gonna hold our heads. We still got a season ahead of us, and we all kind of adapted that mindset and went on this run and go win it. But I'll say how close you are in the brotherhood.
To meet with Calvin Shepard, what was that conversation like? Obviously a former player, high energy guy. Just curious what that conversation was like.
Yeah, Coach Shep, he's just met him and I already love him. He's a high energy guy. He sells to me how much he loves my game and how I play and how I can help the team. And you need a guy like that in your corner, I think, and just. I'm ready to, get the playbook and all that and just learn under him and how he coaches and how he runs his defense. I think I can help in a major way. So he's a great guy, though. I'm glad I met him.
You had some good screenshots with the Lions in the pre-draft process. When their pick rolled around last night, were you thinking this could be a landing spot for you when your phone lights up? What's it like to see that number come across? Yeah,
so I definitely knew it was a possibility of me landing at 28 because I had great conversations, at the combine, the 30 visit. And they basically told me if I'm there, it's a possibility they're going to take me. So I had my phone right next to me, ringer on all the way up. Kept checking it, I was nervous, But when I got that call, it was just, I don't even know how to describe it. The feeling you get, that rush you get of, answering that call. I don't think nothing compares to it, if I'm being honest. But it was a great feeling, just got to spend it with my family, my friends, and just enjoyed the moment.
big impact as a freshman at Ohio State. What was maybe the keys to jumping levels from high school to college and now college to NFL to have kind of that early success?
I would just say you just gotta start early. Don't get behind the 8 ball as soon as you get here. I think you gotta hit the ground running, and just prove to your teammates, gain that trust that you're gonna do your job, and they don't have to worry about messing up or off the field issues. I don't think you don't need to start like that. You need to start fresh and start hard and grind. When you get here, you don't want to slack in any way. I think just having that mindset will put me in the right place.
Coaches today, you're stuck about how loyal you are. It's the same little league program for your whole life, basically, like Ohio State. I'm sure you had NAL opportunity to stay there, but it was loyalty to me too. Why is that so important to you, I guess, to be stay with the project?
Yeah, for me, loyalty is just having trust in somebody, knowing they're not going to do nothing like snaky or anything like that. I'm big on relationships, so once I build a relationship with somebody, it's hard for me to break away from them unless you really do something that it's needed for me to get away from you. But once I build a relationship with someone, I just stick through it. No matter if it's bad, good, you got to fight through it and just get better, I'll say.
Why do you play the game, and I guess what kind of motivates you? Why do you play the game, and what kind of motivates you?
Why I play the game is I'm real competitive, and football is a competitive sport. I always want to go against somebody equal score or even better than me. And why I play the game is really just my family, my why. Taking care of them is really my big thing I want to do with football. Of course, you want to win and all that, but I think family is what drives me. Just knowing I got them in my corner. If I need help or I'm sad or something, I always got them to lean on. They're not gonna sugarcoat anything. They're gonna tell me how it is, and probably that.
Just leaning on your family, things
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
I'm just curious, just based on your talks with the Bills, did you have a sense that if you didn't go at 28, you might have landed with them at 30?
Yeah, it's kind of the same conversations I was having with the Lions. They kind of told me if I was there, they want me. I had talks with the head coach, the D-line coach. They said they love my game and how I play. But it definitely was a possibility. So, yeah.
What do you think a guy like DJ Reader could mean to you as a young player coming in this league?
You said, what do I think it would mean?
DJ Reader, been in this league, seen a lot of things. What do you think he can mean to you in a locker room as a young player?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get in touch with him real soon. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can and soak it in. Like I said, I think he's 10th year or something like that. So he's been through it all. He's seen it all, and he's been in for 10 years, so he knows something. So I just want to go in and learn. That's really all I'm planning to do. Learn from the older guys, the vets, help me succeed and stay in the league as long as him, hopefully.
NFL tackles that you watched during your time at Ohio State to pick up moves from, to model your game after, anyone that stands out in that regard?
Really anybody who was producing, I was looking at. Like I said, I watched a lot of film of everybody, so it's not like a single person, but a guy who's getting a lot of TFLs or a lot of sacks or a lot of anything, D-tackle-wise, I watch them to just try to nitpick and just add it to my game because it's working for them, it should work for me kind of thing. But I watch all of them, for real.
You mentioned you were a film junkie. Who taught you how to break down film?
I'll say Zach Harrison. He was kind of that guy when I was at Ohio State. He would watch film a lot and then kind of picked up on it. And I fell in love with it. It's kind of, I enjoy critiquing tape and, why is this working? Why is it not working kind of thing. I kind of take pride in that, so.
Coming to Ohio State, losing the weight, coming in bigger than you expected. What did you arrive at, and how did you drop it?
Yeah, so I was around 360 when I got there my freshman year because, COVID and just eating, playing the game and all that. But my nutritionist, Kayla, she got me down around 317 that year. So I lost 40, 50 pounds that year. But like I said, a great support staff can, take you great places. So just happy I had her on my side.
One more question. I don't know if I understood right, but maybe you're supposed to have a little draft thing tonight. Are you going to make it back there? Do you have to reschedule the second party that you're going to have tonight?
No, I think I'm gonna make it back. I'm leaving here soon for catch a flight, but it should be a good time with great people, all my family, friends. It's a great moment. I want to enjoy it with them.